We are live. So is Dixie. So how is nobody doing tonight? This is just because no one else is live. And I decided, what the hell? Might as well go live, see who's out there. It's 7:05 Pacific Standard, so I put it 10:05 Eastern, 9:05 Central, and blah, 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 blah. Might get some guys from Hawaii up in here. Doubt anyone from Europe's going to be on. But, whatever. Me and Dixie here are having a good time, along with the plethora of bed warmers. Can you see the three of them right there? Yeah. Where is it? 1, 2, 3. They're my bed warmers, my electric blanket. Body temperature of 101 degrees. Can't ask for a better electric blanket than that, can you? What's up, my man? You're first. How's it going, A Million Restaurant Tips? What's on my mind? I am just bored and I'm looking for intellectual stimulation. So I'll throw something at me. Let's get stimulated intellectually. How are you doing this evening? Pete, what's up? Yeah, I was just bored. Like the title says, I got nothing. No new news. There is, but I didn't make no videos on it, so it's no big deal. I just wanted to go live because I'm bored. Basically, unlike Ninja, I don't have something to say other than general BS and chatting with friends, seeing who else is online, seeing what's going on. So how's your day been, Pete? And A Million Restaurant Tips, aka Carlos. How's your day been, guys? I just found out I didn't call in this morning to the union hall, so I got bumped off the unemployment list, and I got to go in tomorrow and re-sign up. Puts me on the back of the unemployment list, so I'll be without work for a couple months probably. Sucks ass. But life will go on. Again, how are you guys doing? Thank you for showing up, by the way. I'm teaching so you have 2 freezers or 3 now? You need to get a big walk-in freezer, bro. That way you can get like 2 cows worth in there, no problem. Walk in, pull off the shelves, the brisket, the hind quarter, or whatever. But I imagine they're a little pricey. I'm sure you can get them you can find them at auctions, man. Go to a restaurant auctions, you can find a walk-in freezer. You have 5, yeah. Get a walk-in freezer, a big one. Yeah, like I said, you can go to a restaurant auctions. Where restaurants, especially now, they're going out of business left, right, and center. You can pick up some good deals. I remember, this was a long time ago. It was an old, like an 8 or 10 burner wood burning stove. Huge. I mean, it was like maybe 8 foot, regular, about 3 foot. It stood about 4 foot tall, 3.5 foot tall. And we were running gas pipelines, small little suckers. Let me see where you're at. Little copper gas lines. And we had to like manipulate it around because we were repiping this old wood burning oven, huge one, and making it gas. So anything can be done. A side hustle. Okay. Now that's a good thought pattern. Here's something, Carlos, that Travis turned me on to. And since you two are the 2 here, I'll turn you 2 onto it as well. What he said is, walk-in cooler's good, Pete Sasquatch, is a product that you can't live without. If it's an expensive one, and he said, the more expensive, obviously, the better. Products that you can't live without. Go to the website, and I wrote this stuff down he told me about. Go to the website of that product and look for damn, where the hell did I write that down at? I wrote it down somewhere on the webpage of the items in your house that you really like. Make a commercial about them. Go to that website, see if they have affiliated links to where you can get money for people going to your website and buying that product with your discount code, and you make money off it that way. And you don't even have to leave your house to do it. You can do it all from your house, actually, in front of your computer, kind of like Amazon. How's it going, Shadow? That's one way he told me to do it. I was thinking about Band-Aids and first aid stuff because I always, cut myself because I'm an eye worker part-time nowadays, apparently. I haven't seen you while Shadow Works. You upset that I left Ron's channel? I got too much shit going on to be moderating all these channels, man. Ninja just put me on his second channel, so now I've got my hands full just with 2 channels. I spoke with Ron. I told him, I was like, dude, I got a little bit too much going on. I need to back off my responsibilities. That, and if I ever do get to work, yes, they are actually, Pete. Yeah, exactly, $1 million. Excuse me, Carlos. And it does take a lot. I don't mind doing it though. It's a good cause. Trying to wake people up, get them. Everyone's got a role to play. And if I can help with, my big thing is obviously my big thing. If you don't know what my big thing is here, this is my big thing right here. As long as some people, a few people that wouldn't have got platinum, get platinum at this cheap price, they will financially benefit from doing that. I can't get it, but that doesn't mean that the knowledge I have, I can't spread and try and push out there so that other people can pick up on the good deal. I'm glad Dunnigan from Liberty and Finance and Andy Scheckman are on board now. A lot more people are getting on board with platinum since I've been pushing it so hard. And I'm directly responsible for Liberty and Finance and Miles Franklin, the big corporation. I'm pretty much personally responsible for them pushing platinum, along with other people out there. As long as I know that some people are going to benefit from that knowledge that I have, that I give, sweet. I don't need to benefit from it. As long as I know others do, it's called like paying it forward kind of thing. That's the way I look at it. Right on, Shadow. But yeah, get platinum. Silver will do well. Platinum will do very well. Yeah, I for a dumbass that didn't finish high school and quit every school he went to, when I research, I research. I like to know everything that I can know. And that's how I know right now Impala platinum mines in South Africa is probably going to be going, if things don't change within 6 months to a year, they'll probably be going bankrupt. Oops. Hey, William, what's up? Yeah, I'm glad you took on to it, brother. Yeah, Rolls Royce, man, they're doing their thing, bro. They signed a contract with the United Kingdom, the government, the English government. By 2028, they have to have a finished product of an SMR that can be launched and put on the moon to power a moon base that NASA plans to have operational by 2032. So 2 countries and a couple companies all working to what? What are they working towards? Come on, guys. I know you know. I'll give you a couple seconds to add it, to say it. Space mining. Space mining. Yeah. I'm right. Space mining. Space mining. It's going to be happening, babes. It's going to be happening. Astroforge this month is launching the second of 2 rockets into orbit. They're going to assemble whatever the hell they got to assemble from those 2 rockets. And they're going to be getting ready to bring home the platinum, baby. And if they're doing that, they know the price of platinum is going to double the price of gold. Once this economic war is over with South Africa and the BRICS nations, and the reason why we're hitting South Africa so hard economically, we're destroying them, and the platinum price, which you should take advantage of, is because of China and what they plan on. And the reason, and I did a video on this too, the reason why they brought South Africa into BRICS. So if we kill South Africa economically, BRICS is finito for all of their financial goals that they had planned. Other goals, they'll still be around for that. But their main goals, history will prove me right. Pete, yes, you did. Jersey Silver Stacker, you just subscribed to me today. Thank you very much. Did you see me on Long Live Coins? Is that what it was? Because I noticed you went to the one video that I posted on Long Live Coins. Everyone here, I suggest Long Live Coins. He's a good dude. He's got a very interesting show. It's very entertaining, and a lot of cool people there. He sells silver and platinum. Not platinum. Sells silver coins, different cool. What would they be called? Numismatics. He sells numismatics. That's what it is. Well, thank you for being here. Yes, prices are going to skyrocket. They're going to skyrocket big time. Like I said, right now, you buy an ounce of platinum right now, you will be able, 2-3 years, you will be able to turn it in for 2 ounces of gold, which means whatever the price of gold is in 2 to 3 years, you'll be able to get 2 ounces of gold for $1,000 that you paid for that piece of platinum now. Actually, it's less than 1,000 now. And that is the deal of a lifetime. Because if gold does shoot up to 9,000, platinum will be 18,000, baby. Don't know what to tell you. And they are working on. William pointed this one out to me, and there's other things about kelp and seaweed and whatnot that I know about. There is a technology that they're trying to develop and work on that can use seaweed instead of platinum for the hydrogen engines, but they've got to come up with a whole new engine and a whole new system to make that work, and that's way off. Very possible, very, 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 very possible, but technologically, that's the next step. We still got this step to go, and this step is platinum, so let's make our money on this one, and then maybe invest in that step. But on this step, it's platinum. Platinum's the play. William, that was very good of you. I like being intellectually stimulated. Another thing, there's a red kelp that the University of Washington, I believe, is working on. They're harvesting this red kelp, and they're frying it up, and it tastes and has the texture of bacon. And they're doing a limited marketing and sales of it somewhere in the Washington area where they're selling. It's either seaweed or kelp. I've not seen the package of it, but they say when you fry it up, the texture and taste and smell is that of bacon. But of course, obviously a lot healthier. So it'd be interesting to see that one. Is that what it is? Fukushima bacon, Pete? Yeah, William, you throw some good stuff at me. I like the intellectual stimulation. I love having to research shit and find out stuff. That just makes me more knowledgeable, and I love that. Nowadays, I don't know what direction to go into. I mean, every now and then a thought comes to me, but not often. Yeah, even Liberty and Finance, done again on Liberty and Finance, will tell you it's about 25% of its actual value, because it should be about $4,300 right now. The reason why it's not is because we have an economic war going on with the South Africa BRICS, and we're hitting South Africa and have been. If you look, I've done a couple of videos in the past, something about South Africa's gold. It's going to be gone in 20 years or something like that. I don't recall exactly what the label that I had or the headline I had on it, but it's showing that the way the South African government's been running things, not only is their coal power plant failing and they're not going to be getting a replacement near enough time to save their country, and they're going through rolling blackouts through the whole country. It's affected all the platinum mines in South Africa. I've already, beginning part of this year, put out a statement saying they have 15% reduction in platinum supply because of the power issues. They can't mine as much. And just the other day, about a week ago, because I was invested in Impala, I got a report from them stating that they were doing voluntary, basically quitting, asking their people to voluntarily quit before they start doing mandatory layoffs because they're losing money. And that's the step right before the step of we're closing the company down. So I sold all my shares because they're going down. The economic war is the only reason why. If you look at a chart of platinum for 100 years, a 100-year chart of platinum, and you put it to gold, it has always been more valuable, most of the time twice as valuable, up until the point that South Africa joined BRICS in 2012. You look at that 100-year chart of platinum, and you look at that year. Wow, it started going down in 2012. And it's been going down. What an anomaly. Huh. I wonder what other geopolitical stuff is going on to cause that to happen. As soon as the war is over, the economic war is over, platinum's going to... And because anything suppressed takes off, it's going to jump higher than its sustained value, and it'll reach one hell of a new all-time high, and then it'll come back down to a base level, 50 to 100% higher than gold. Once all that geopolitical crap is over with. Where are the kitties? Good question. Let's see. Where are the kitties? Let's see. This is Big Man. You just hang. I tell you what, instead of picking them up, because the other two are cute, they're laying beside each other. Okay, you see Big Man there. You see the other two? Right there. That's Harley, and that's the white guy. I don't have a name for the white guy. The white guy. I'm a racist bastard. He's white. Yeah, I'm a simpleton. I'm not a educated person like that. He's the white guy. He's my white guy. Exactly, William. Their body temperature is 101 degrees. Right now, my bed is being warmed up. I love it. I love it. I remember, and this story has to do with weed, obviously. So most of my stories do. Back in 1981, 82, a friend's mom, we lived on one side of the bayou on a peninsula basically the peninsula in the bayou. My friend's mom lived on the other side of the bayou, which was also a peninsula, but it was the entryway of the water system to the bayou. And she had a dock and whatnot. And she had these wicker half circle shaped wicker lounges that she had outside. And Holly, herself, and myself would sit out in those things. And we had an antenna from a car, and we had soldered a alligator clip to the end of it, and we'd pass a joint back and forth and just talk and look up at the stars. And PJ, my friend's mom, had about 13 cats, and they would all jump on top of us and keep us warm in the wintertime. We'd just sit there and pass that joint back and forth, talk. And the funny thing is, Paula, she's dead now. She was a what do you call those people that Rhodes Scholar? She was a Rhodes Scholar. Yeah, and I used to get stoned with her and have conversations with her for a couple of years. And she actually paid me the best compliment I've ever been paid by anyone. She told me, Neil, you're one of the few people that I've ever spoke with that intellectually stimulate me. Because I always ask questions. Because back then I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am now. But I was always like asking the question that no one else would want to ask or thought to ask or something. And it like stimulated her. Kind of like how when I get questions, it kind of intellectually stimulates me now. I was like 16 at that time. And I thought that was badass. Myself, personally, I thought it was badass. But we were out there smoking pot. So, and she actually was living off of a living trust that her parents left that stated as long as she had a certain number of hours of college credits a year, all of her living expenses would be cared for. So last I knew, and this was like 30 years ago, there was no other college in the United States that she could learn anything from. So she moved to Japan at her the living trust's expense. They moved her to Japan, set her up over there in a nice place, and she continued to go to school over there. And then she died in school. Spent like 60 years in college, which was smart. Yes, you can say Cracker Pete the Sasquatch if it's the name of a kitty cat, most definitely. Yeah, that's a good one, Carlos. You never know till you find out. One that I like saying, one of my sayings is, I do what I can, where I'm at, while I'm there. Because I always was feeling bad that I didn't do something somewhere where I wasn't. When I found out something happened that I could have done something about, and I had to come to the realization, if I'm not there, I can't do nothing about it. So I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to let it give me gray hairs. So that's how I came up with that saying of, I do what I can, where I'm at, while I'm there. If I'm not there, I can't do anything about it. So no sweat. I'm not going to sweat it. Gray strays, cool. Palladium. that's what I was told. The black and white one kind of looked like silver. Someone said, not the word silver, but it sounded like it. And I thought it was kind of cute. Oh, there we go, Pete. So this is one of Pete's kitties. That's a beautiful black kitty cat. I have one black kitty cat. Yeah, there are people out there that do that. Not only grants and scholarships, but like I said, Holly was her name. She lived off of a living trust, and the living trust stated all of her living expenses, if she needed a car, if she needed whatever, everything would be taken care of in her life if she was in school with certain, like 2 or 3 courses per semester minus summer semester. All of her living expenses would always be handled by the living trust. Her parents were like, I don't want to say Woolworths, but they were like that. They were like billionaires. Wealth of Nations. Why do I got nothing? Because you have to appreciate not having things to appreciate having things. And I've lived a life of adrenaline. I have shitloads of stories that you will never believe. You're like, no way, that couldn't happen. Yeah, I did it. But in living that life, I gave up possessions of things because the lifestyle I took, I had to have a certain job, which was iron work, where I could travel the country to these different cool spots where I wanted to do this adrenaline junkie crap and still hold down a job. But as an iron worker, you don't have a guaranteed 40. So you can't buy things for long periods of times, like cars, new cars and houses, because if you're not guaranteed work, you can't get the loan for that kind of shit. And I've been an iron worker for 30 years. As you can see right now, I've been unemployed for 4 months. I don't know. This is my 30th year, so I haven't had, when I do have money, I do what I can to prepare for the times that I don't have money. But there's a lot of times I don't have money, and I haven't used my brain to make money, and I'm changing that now because I'm coming to the end of my iron worker career. I'm no longer concerned about adrenaline rushes, and I want to own shit. So I've got a couple ideas I got going on. The media thing, this YouTube thing is one of them. I'm going to have another channel next year. Will be the Lightning Strike channel. And that son bitch is going to get lots of hits, and I'm going to make lots of money, and I'm going to have lots of shit because of it. And also, I've got a patent that I still owe $9,000 on. That it's a device for an extension ladder that'll be worth several millions once I get that and get it to ANSI and OSHA safety board and start the approval to have it have it to where it's mandated on any federal or government job where there's federal money at. That thing will be worth millions, and then I'll have shit. I've known my whole life I'm not gonna have shit till I'm older, because I wanted to have fun, and I did. I've had fun. I've had one hell of a life, right? But that's why I don't have shit, basically. You take care, Carlos. Thank you for being here, my friend. I'll see you on the ninja shows, one of the two of them. John. Hey, what's up, Dave? Yeah, and see, that's another thing, Dave. Good point on that one to help with Wealth of Nation. I see good money and bad money. When I was a kid, I hung around strippers. I dated them. I was engaged to them just because that's the only way you could keep them. It was to kind of commit to them for a little while. And I saw a lot of shit going on. I saw a lot of people making a lot of money, and I don't see them rich now. And I've known for a long time there's good money and bad money. And if you make bad money, you know that's easy to make, but good things don't tend to follow. So I've waited also until I get over my stupid years of adrenaline junkie, wanting to have fun, all about me kind of shit. And now I'm looking for good money opportunities. And that's why I'm going to actually create stuff to make my own money. I'm not going to, good night, Carlos, sleep well, my friend. I'm not going to like take market share from another arena or anything. I'm creating new shit that's never been created before, and then I'm going to sell it as soon as it's created. And that's how I'm going to make my money now. One of them I was just speaking of is that extension ladder thingamajigger. There's a need for it. It's not there now, and there's a great value if someone does do it. So I stepped up and I'm making that thing, but I still have to pay off the patent and then continue that process about a year after I get the patent. Probably by the end of next year, I'll have that up for sale. Several $millions. My lightning crystal box will be going. My lightning crystal channel on YouTube will be going next year. And when I do get some funds coming in, I actually have a prototype of a mobile apiary or a mobile beehive where I came up with a new design of the beehives and the caretaking of the bees in a mobile scenario where you can make money 24/7, 365 if you operate it correctly. I've got to throw money at that to get a finished product of that made, and then I've got to give it to a couple of different beekeepers for them to operate and get feedback on and start the company that way, because it's a different type of company. You can't just like sell it because people know, hey, it's a great thing. It's never been done before. People don't know it's a great thing. So I've got to go about that a different way as well. But that's an industry changer that I've got going. And I've got the prototype in my garage right now. But it's going to take money to get the finished product going, 20, 25,000. But it'll be making about 60,000 a year if a person operates it properly. Yeah, bees and honey. It'll be a great income, especially in bad times. People be jumping at it. Well, I can make that money in bad times and I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss? Yeah. And you're collecting money. You're not getting CDBCs. You're selling a product. You accept whatever currency you want to accept for that product. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And I'll have that running hopefully next year as well. Up for, like I said, I build 2 or 3 of them, turn them out for people to use so that way they can get familiar with the system, see how much money can actually be made, and word of mouth, sell it to their friends and sell it to their friends, and grow it like that. And that's how that's going to work. Sorry, looking for my nickel. See, I use a nickel to cover my weed. Eggs equals honey. It's all about making connections with other people, like-minded people. and not lowering yourself down to them, but having them elevate you as a person to be a better person. That's worth as much as having $1 million in the bank, being around good people and having people you can count on. There you go, John. Patents do make people a lot of money. And like I said, the one I'm looking at, it fills a litigation loophole in safety etiquette on job sites. There's about $10 to $60 million yearly spent on litigation for this loophole that my system fills. My patent, my thingy. So I know it's worth a lot. It's worth at least $10 million. It's independent. I was going to complain on your next live stream if I didn't see you here, young lady. I'd be like, hey, I come to yours, you come to mine. It's like scratch my back, I scratch yours. But you're here, so I'm not going to give you shit on your show. I'll give you shit on my show. Because I'm in the control here. I'm just messing with you. Thank you for being here, girl. I like having fun. See, that's my problem. I like having fun. I don't care about shit. I like having fun. I like being happy. I like sleeping at night, just as Dave said. And I sleep well. And another thing, I don't look behind myself when I'm walking. I don't, because I've never lied. Well, as a grown up, I've never lied, cheat, or stole from anybody. And I'm always kind, helpful, and grateful. So I don't have to look behind me. I know there's nothing coming, because I've done nothing to deserve anyone to come up behind me. And most of the time I've been attacked, it's from behind. So I can pretty much handle a back attack. And I've been attacked from behind off the top of my head 3 times that I know of. One of them was very memorable because he broke 2 of my ribs and punctured my lung with his first hit right back here. It was a good first hit, man. It's just like, if you want to take a normal guy out, that's the way to do him. You want to piss off a fucking fighter? Do that. And so since I'm a fighter, all he did was piss me the fuck off, and I tore him apart. But it hurt like hell. But I accept pain. It's part of the process. You either wimp out from pain or you man up and give it back to him. And I man up. And you should always be kind, helpful, and grateful, because it's better than being a jerk. I have received so many blessings because I'm kind, helpful, and grateful. I mean, almost better than being a millionaire with the blessings I've received from. But it's taken. Certain people have to do certain things. I'm the kind of guy that'll walk down that alleyway when told not to make sure everything's cool, and then suffer the consequences. But that's me, and that's how you clean up neighborhoods, and that's what I've been doing out here for 20 years. IBM. I actually knew a chick, this was like 35 years ago when fiber optics was new. She came up with the system. She patented it. And as soon as she got the patent, I never saw her again. She was like, disappeared. I imagine she got several million. And this was like 35 years ago. She came up with some device that for fiber optics, you can cut the fiber optics and put it, splice it back together or some shit like that. And she came up with the device that did that. And at that time, way back then, it was the shiznits, the first time anyone ever came up with that. And it was a much needed thing. And like I said, when she told me she got that, like a couple days later, to this day, I don't know where she's at. So I imagine she made a lot of money from that patent. She had just got out of the Navy too on a 4-year stint in electronics. So what else you guys want to chat about other than platinum and space mining is going to be the thing in the next decade. Invest now if you want a Warren Buffett type of investment opportunity. Look at these space mining companies. Look at Rolls-Royce, SRM. I mean, look at all this shit and invest appropriately, because it is the future. And if you invest in the future before it comes, you usually make a lot of money. I can't take advantage of it, but I can tell you people about it. William confirmed part of my statements. You know, it's coming. Invest in it now before the masses. Because once they invest in it, then you sell. Because you're taking their money. And that's what you want to be doing. You want to be taking the money. Yeah, she probably is, bro. She probably is, man. Because she is a wealthy. Well, she's my age. Actually, she's 57 now, because she was 2 years older than me. I was trying to date her at the time. That's the only reason I was hung out with her. Or else I'd have never known about the shit. And all that shit's very much needed in space. If you have yourself a little colony, you need the hydrogen. Because what do you get out of hydrogen? H2O. So as you're producing energy, you're creating oxygen. Holy shit. Oops. I said shit, not shit. Damn, that sucks, Shadow. Yeah, I have a lawyer friend. He's my partner in the lightning crystal thing I'm going to be doing. He said trademarks and copyrights are more important than patents. Who the fuck knew, right? But whatever. Oh, that's another thing that's going to make me money is that lightning crystal shit. Right now, a 4-inch piece of what's known as fulgurite goes for $250. And the worst case scenario is I'm going to have 4-foot pieces of this stuff. And the price gets exponentially larger as the piece gets exponentially larger. So a 4-foot piece of fulgurite is probably going to be worth like $125,000. I'll be making that in the lightning capital of America. On the first hill off of the Gulf of Mexico in the lightning capital of America is where I'll be making that. And that'll be cool as shit. That's where I'll have a subscribers channel on my YouTube channel. I'll have like a Patreon channel on that one. Unless this channel blows up, which I don't see happening. Unless Ninja gets sick of the Economic Ninja channel because it's getting so censored. He says, Neil, take it over. That'd be badass. I'd be like, no fucking way, bro. Let your son take it. When will we land another person on the moon? Well, before 2030, probably around 2028, 2027. I think they've got a planned mission for then. One of our Broncos has enough miles. They've gone to the moon about halfway home. Well, he's still got a little bit of miles left in it then. No way you can make it back from the moon. Yeah, I'm gonna be buying another car next year at the auction house because every 2 years, National and United Rentals sells their equipment. It's 2-year-old equipment, it's construction equipment, 6 blocks that way. And I hear it every year because I'm on the first hill, and it's like the auctions down here. So I hear them, yeah, 2,500, 1,700. You know, I hear the shit. But this next year, I'm gonna be down there with some cash, buying up that shit when no one else is buying it. I'll be getting scissor lifts, which is warehouse type shit. You have to have a concrete floor for $200. You can rent those out for $100 a week when construction's good, which will come in about 5 to 7 years. So if you start buying like they're small red scissor lifts that got extension to them, $200-300. Just stick them in your garage, keep them maintained. They're electric. You just gotta plug them in, do a little electrical work to make sure the battery's charged. Buy battery. If it's not, everything else you can do yourself. It goes up and down. It goes up and down. That's all it does. And it goes forward and backwards. And they've got other equipment you can get real cheap. That when economy's bad, you can pick up on this shit. Keep it running. And that way, when the economy starts getting better and people start needing this equipment, instead of buying new, you rent it to them and you make a killing. That's one way to do it. You know, I don't pay attention to Alistair, even when he's talking, because I kind of sort of, some of the stuff I agree with, some of the stuff I don't agree with, because I look at shit from a geopolitical standpoint, and he's more of a charts and fundamentalist. And charts and fundamentalists typically are the way to look at things, and they should be the way to look at things. But we're in an economic war. Has that been charted before? With an organized group of nations called the BRICS nations. Commodities are on the table as the battlefield. Has that been charted? So right now in history, geopolitics, I think, trumps charts and graphs and fundamentals, as platinum is showing. So, and other things, oil, big time, wheat, all this stuff it's part of the economic war, the price manipulation of all of this crap. And start looking at investing with that in mind, and you'll start seeing and understanding, oh, that's why that's right, because they sell it and they're in that country and that's part of the BRICS nations, and okay, so that's why it's so expensive, or that's why it's so cheap, or what, the geopolitics of that economic war determine the price, not the charts. That's all I'm saying. It'll change one day, but not today. I'd love to have a couple skid steers and a couple bobcats and a couple backhoes and a couple bulldozers and a couple of those big fucking huge 5,000-ton trucks. That'd be badass to have all that shit. Because you know what? They just rediscovered gold in Missouri. I've been talking about this for a while too. It's gold all over America. Well, they just rediscovered there's gold in Missouri. I could have told them that. All I had to do was call me. But I'm glad someone else did. I saw a YouTube show on it just today on the discovery of gold in Missouri. Like there wasn't gold there yesterday. You know, he does kind of look that way, Dave. Yeah, that's the one big thing that BRICS was going to do, is come up with an alternative to the SWIFT payment system. That's all BRICS was ever supposed to be, is an alternative to the SWIFT payment system. Unfortunately, if you watch my show, you'd know this too. Nigeria is starting to, they haven't yet. They will be within 3 months producing oil. They're not part of OPEC. And the payment system they use is the SWIFT system. So geopolitics again. Look at countries that are just now that the price of oil is going up. They're just now starting to pump the stuff because it's financially viable for them to. See, when you look at, if you step back at the oil market and step back 100 years back and just look at a big picture of the oil market, Saudis are being used. Iran's being used. All their Middle Eastern oil has been used for a century. We've been using them. They're all dried up. Not yet. You know, like Ninja, I'm like a couple years early. But they're dried up. They're playing their last card that they have right now by joining BRICS. Every nation that doesn't join BRICS is probably going to be the oil producers of the future. Argentina. Matter of fact, Argentina just stepped up and sunk a Chinese fishing vessel that was in their exclusive fishing zone. First time that's ever happened, and it came from Argentina. Because the Philippines didn't want to do it. Australia didn't want to do it. Tonga didn't want to do it. No one else wanted to do it because the Chinese have been raping the oceans of fish. Raping them. Breaking every environmental law out there from every country. Go BRICS. And finally, Argentina stepped up there and confiscated their shit. Blew it up. Sunk it. Used it as a reef. Said, China, stay out of our waters. So, when's the last time you've heard of Argentina? They're the only ones that have had the balls to sink a Chinese fishing vessel. They did that a couple weeks ago. They got oil. Wealth of nations, good history. North Carolina, the first 13 colonies when America was formed, needed gold. Where did they get it? Out of the 13 colonies. There's gold everywhere, peeps. Nowadays, they got this new sluice. It collects this stuff called the angel's gold, or the angel's share, or whatever. The smallest flakes you could ever think the gold could be seen in. Half grain size. These sluices collect that stuff. That gold is in the ground everywhere. You just got to sluice enough to get enough of the gold. And it takes a while because it's the smallest particulate of gold, but you can go anywhere and get that stuff. Of course, here in California, it'd be a lot easier to get because you're closer to the source, the now source. But the earth, the crust, the place, the tectonic place, they move. We used to be Pangea, one continent. It's moved. Everything moves. Right now, a million years ago, the gold was in Central America, or whichever direction the plates are moving. Right off the top of my head, I don't know. I think it's actually I don't know. I think we're moving east. We might be moving west. I'm not sure. But yes, the Wealth of Nation. I'm glad you're keeping up with that too. I've been actually looking more at South America right now. Chile, Argentina, Brazil. See what the hell they got going on. Brazil, not too concerned about. They're kind of screwing themselves. Well, Shadowworks, as I did a report last year, Cummins diesel is no longer making the Cummins diesel. They are making the Cummins hybrid hydrogen biodiesel engine. So you will be able to change your engine up to a hybrid biodiesel hydrogen diesel, I guess, for hydrodiesel. They're going to have to come up with a new word for it, I guess. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, Shadowworks. Down in LA, I saw a program where there's actually a company that did aerial surveys for reclamation of gold and silver spots to look. And there's one main spot they found was in LA, Los Angeles. They were like, what the frell? So they got their maps together and said, holy crap, literally crap. The big containers of crap in LA that take all the people's crap and they got them in these big things, they swirl them around and whatnot. There's crap loads, literally, pun intended, crap loads of silver and gold in that crap chute. They can't get to it though because of all the needles. Because I watched the documentary on this thing and the guy said there's too many needles in there. And I was thinking to myself, man, fuck that shit. You just stick yourself a pump down there, a little hose, and suck it up and deal with the shit later, But there is a company out there working on getting that stuff. and they're far further along in getting it than I am, but it's actually being done. And they found, and once they found it there, I'm sure they've gone to every huge city. This was like a year ago that I saw the documentary, and the documentary was like 6 months old. So, hey, what's up, Anti-Attack? And Anti-At-Jack, excuse me for that mispronunciation of your name. Let me get back to chat and get over my crap fest of gold and silver in our crap shoot. I just I like using that word a lot. Angel shares what evaporates on brews. Yes, John, it's the angel's dust is the gold, minute pieces of gold that are like a half a grain. That usually you could go to old sluice piles of where gold miners have already been last year and re-sluice their sluice tailings and get the angel's dust gold from their tailings, because their extraction techniques didn't collect it. They weren't set up to collect it. What's William saying here that's interesting there? Let's see, hold on. H2 is produced. Well, tectonic action, you're talking a lot of pressure, a lot of heat, that's how diamonds are created. So could they create, that's what, a form of carbon? So yeah, I could it? Yeah, it could. I know that there's difference, like in Africa, they had this lake that the water was so heavy, I guess, there was methane in the lower part beneath the lake, and it had a mountain to it, and there was a rock slide, and the rocks went into the lake, hit the bottom, and released this methane. And the only reason they discovered this is because the villagers in that African area slept on stilts platforms. Most of them did. The ones that did were alive the next day. The ones that didn't, along with all the livestock and every other animal in that valley, were dead. And scientists came in and discovered it was a methane release from that rock slide going into that lake. And there are actually lots of killer lakes out there. People are like, oh, I want to live by a lake. I want to live by a lake. Yeah, watch what's underneath that lake, and what could be released can kill you. So, yeah, a lot of things. Hey, what's up, Christopher Biggs? There's a lot of things out there that could happen. So H2, yeah, it could be created. It could be produced by tectonic action. I've heard of a lot of crazier stuff. Interesting, Shadow. I want to see Shadow's answer on that one. And yes, in my hills up here in California, there is actually gold up in their hills. Right on, Anti. It does simplify it. So, Shadow, would you like? I'd like you to answer Wealth of Nation, if you would. I don't believe you can retrofit a V8 to hydrogen. You'd have to change up everything. My personal opinion, not knowing anything about it, just knowing basics. So that's another issue. There's a lot of issues, and actually, hydrogen's rather combustive and explosive in the right conditions. So, but having said that, Phillips 66 and Chevron already signed a contract to work together. Chevron's going to run the hydrogen plant that's going to be built, and no, Phillips 66 is going to run the hydrogen plant. Between the combination of both of their monies building the hydrogen plant, and Chevron's going to build 30 hydrogen fueling stations in California within the next couple of years. So it's going in that direction. Just like electric was forced on us, it's going in that direction. Big money has already put their money on it, going in the direction of a hydrogen hybrid engine as an alternative. Not the alternative, but an alternative, along with electric and other alternatives that I'm sure will come out. Just keep eating beans, man. Not only is it good for your heart, it helps make that methane when you fart. Storing it's a problem though. You stick a hose to your. Well, I don't. Let's not go there. Dude, no, John, you don't want gold to be magnetic. Then you wouldn't be able to tell with your little. Oh man, I just saw my little tester today too. Where the hell was that thing? Tag nibbity nabbit. It was around here somewhere. I shouldn't have thought about it. I'd probably be able to find it. I have a little tester for gold. Magical flute. Oh, sweet. See, the day is coming for the Jetsons car yet, baby. We are going to get Jetsons in action. I want that. I want that. Here's George Jetson. Do, 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 do. As I fly up, and I'm building the house that George Jetson lives in. Big, solid column up 100 foot in the sky with just one column coming down. It'd be like one section of a 320-foot windmill. About a 30-foot round fucking tube steel going up where you can have all your electronics, computers, and lift system to get to the ground, and then have your flying car and your whole house up and your yard 100 foot up in the air. That'd be badass. Yeah, ozone. Yeah, ozone smells like lightning. Because lightning makes ozone, makes O3, O2, H2, no, H3, makes ozone. Ozone smells like lightning. That's interesting, Shadow. I actually am looking at, and the technology is already there. When I get back to when I go back to the Alabama area, of having a drone that has like a magnetometer projector or camera type device, and I'm gonna have it fly over about 60, 80 foot over a section and see what hits come from it. Because it should be able to tell you where gold and silver is, but where non-ferrous stuff is. Could be lead, could be lots of things, but it dials you in if you're going to be like metal detecting with these new metal detectors they just came up with last year that like go 2 foot underground, never done before. It's a big help if you want to do that, because then you can just like isolate areas of properties, go straight to those areas, and you're not wasting all day long swinging a stick back and forth hoping to find one of those areas. It's a lot better way to metal detect for treasures of non-ferrous sorts. Well, yeah, Christopher Bick. That's why it's great for sterilizing water and stuff, and also why you don't want to breathe it, because if you breathe ozone, I believe it can fuck your lungs up, because when it dissolves its third molecule of oxygen, I guess. I believe ozone is very dangerous indoors because of that fact. You don't want to. I've always been under the understanding that if you're using an ozonator indoors, you want it well ventilated. For exactly what purpose, I am not 100% sure. I know for a fact if you use ozone creating technologies to create ozone indoors, it's always been highly ventilated with fresh air. That much I do know. That's just my extent of knowledge of that technology. And underwater you don't have to worry about, because it's in the water, and water. Hell, best way to knock out most poisons in lakes is just to put a water wheel in there, because the sun will kill the first three inches, most of the biological organisms and poisons. As a matter of fact, in Zimbabwe, about 9-10 years ago, someone poisoned, was it Zimbabwe? Yeah, Zimbabwe. Someone poisoned a lake, and a whole bunch of, the world got together, their scientists and shit, sent down their experts, and they came up with a water wheel. And they put a water wheel in that lake and just kept churning the water, because they determined the cheapest, most effective way of killing off that poison, that someone intentionally put poison in there, was to just bring the water volume, all of the water volume had to be within top 3 inches over a certain time period to not disintegrate, or dissimulate the poison to where it was non-toxic to the elephants that were drinking it, because like 17 elephants died all in one drinking. Made the national news like a decade ago. So the sun kills a lot of that shit. Sun's radiation. Yeah, well, too much ozone is just, that's how I would equate it to. And I've swum in pools that have too much chlorine. It's not cool. Not cool at all. And thank you, Christopher. I asked a lot of questions, and no one gives me answers, so I discover them for myself. And that, I guess, could make a person dangerous, because the government doesn't want us to have knowledge. That's for daggone sure. I mean, I'm thinking medieval on their anuses here. And everyone's like, oh, they're confiscating weapons. You can't have this, can't have that. I'm like, I don't give a crap, dude. I know what a wrist rocket does. I'm very accurate with wrist rockets. I also know what catapults do, and trebuchets. And none of those things are regulated. I also know what you need to make for projectiles that would be very effective if you had a catapult or a trebuchet. And I'm not talking a giant 30-footer. You don't need a giant 30-footer. You need about an 8 to 10-footer, a couple bricks, enough to throw a 1-pound object a couple hundred yards. And then all you do is you get your pound weightage for the 1-pound object, get all your measurements right, and you can dial in exactly 200 yards, 300 yards, 400 yards, 425 yards, and just beep, 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 and so I'm targeting at 300 yards. My trebuchet goes 900. Have fun breaching those 600 yards to use your weapon on me. And oh, by the way, you're going to be dropping rounds, so the feds are going to find you eventually. My trebuchet, I burn it in the fire after it's over with, and no one has any knowledge of what the hell was out there. I don't know what those big old fire marks are out there, officer. Fire from the sky. It was UFOs. Because they don't have no FBI agent would come up and say, hey, he had a trebuchet. No one goes medieval anymore, right? Just a little bit of side, guys. A potato gun, that would be cool. There are different types of geniuses, John Beatty. Some geniuses do have the ability not to be able to tie their shoes, not to be able to pull up a zipper, but they can do a mathematical calculation that'll knock your dick in the dirt 24/7, 365, and take you 20 years to catch up to them. And that's just one of their calculations. And then you've got intelligent people that are, artistic in nature or linguistic. There's different types of intelligence, but there's always balance. So if you're too much in one area, you pay for it in other areas. And that's in everything. There's nothing perfect other than Jesus and God. Everything good has a bad, or what we see as a negative, or perceive as a negative, unless you could perceive it as a positive and turn it around and make it a good thing, which a lot of people don't, because they get easily distraught and turned off and want to go, woe is me. But yeah, there's always a balance. So, you know, if you're extremely intelligent in one thing, yeah, you're gonna be extremely stupid in other things. You know, like the perfect example is the movie Rain Man. Guy was killer with numbers, but he couldn't eat unless he was told how. But you took him into that. He was what was one of those first card counters ever, or something like that. I didn't watch the movie, but I don't like what's his name, Tom Cruise or Will Smith. There's a couple of other actors I don't like their philosophical beliefs that they push now that they have money. So I don't give them my money, basically. Hey, Finn, what's going on? That's cool, Finn. You fit right on. I have no idea what's going on either. No. Finn, I'm sure, created his own hall pass because this has happened before. Just hold on. Here's my hall pass. Yes, a lot of loners are very, very intellectual. They're just not very social or socially awkward. Or, like myself, I don't give a fuck. Alex, this will give you one explanation of how I live my life, okay? I was in Scotland for my grandmother's funeral and death. I was there for a couple of weeks. And my mom's sister, my aunt, took me to this place called the Calendar House. You Google the Calendar House, it's a up the up, like museum type place, right? So I'm using my normal, my normal voice, right? No one told me it was like library conditions, right? And so I'm being me, right? And I'm walking around this place, and I'm giving my opinion. I'm like, that looks like crap, Well, that's kind of stupid. Why is that there, And everyone started looking at me, and my aunt apparently was embarrassed enough, but apparently, hell, it did happen. The security came up to me and basically kicked me out of the Calendar House. This was about 15 years ago for I don't know, being an obnoxious American. And my aunt to this day won't have me over to her house because I embarrassed her. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah, you said it was pretty. I think it looks like crap. What the hell? I'm supposed to respect your opinion, and you're not supposed to respect mine. Maybe that's why America blew away from you, Jack. You English folk. But my aunt is a Highlander, so apparently she's been woke or whatever. That's why the men went out and fought. We didn't care. But I thought that was funny. I was like, you guys are really kicking me out. What the hell did I do? Obnoxious? Okay, cool. You're a royal snobby motherfucker. You want to talk about obnoxious? Tell you what, I like watching that pumpkin chunking contest where they have the trebuchets, the new modern design trebuchets. I saw one, it was like 6 jointed connection piece. And the first piece would whoop off, the second piece would whoop off, third piece would whoop off, fourth piece would whoop off, and then it would like to throw the son of a bitch. It was like fucking Harvard kids designed the son of a bitch. It didn't work. Because they were too much into the thinking, not much into the realism of how things actually work. But it was a cool idea. It was something they needed to work on to make work, and it was cool. Another cool one was the air pressure for the pumpkin. There was so much air pressure, it like shredded the pumpkin coming out of the gun. It was like it was already pie coming out of the gun. It's like, yeah, you're not shooting that. You're not getting 200 yards off that snub gun. Yeah. It's all about frequencies, vibration. Who was that? What was that? Tesla said frequencies, vibrations, and energy. Is it? Yeah, he said with the right frequency and vibration, you can build or take down anything. There's this is all hypothetical here, but there is actually evidence. Rain Man, yeah. There's actually evidence, like in Ethiopia, they have like cubes going straight down, perfectly straight down, no tool markings or anything. And then they build these chapels out of stone at the bottom of these cube-shaped things that are straight down. There is some hieroglyph scrolls that's supposedly the Egyptians had this like tuning fork type thing, and they could like make that with the I don't understand. I saw an article that was incomplete because they didn't understand, because they were unable to come up with the information, factual information about it. But the proof is out there that there are cube-shaped holes that are go down and there's no tool marks on any of it. And that's according to our thought process of how we perceive the history of them to be, couldn't be done. So obviously our thought process of who they were and how they did things is wrong. But the information is being kept from us. So whatever. All right, Wealth of Nations. Thank you for dropping by, brother. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. I appreciate you guys being here, and this was an excellent conversation. I hope you guys had some good talks between yourselves here on this chat. And as always, it's been an awesome time, and I enjoyed it. I actually got a little bit of workout in my mind there. Got some bicep curls on the fucking million. Was it million oblongata? Million oblongata. Million oblongata. Yeah, it's vibrations, it's frequencies, and energy. All right, gentlemen and ladies, if Indy's still here, you guys be kind, helpful, and grateful. Buy some silver and some platinum. And like, share, and subscribe. This is Nothin Dynasty. Peace out.